Hi, I'm Kip, and this is my STEM video. I had the lifeguard robot. It was invented by a man named Tony McGullen. He had the hydronics company in Arizona that he started off as. He invented remote control piloted vehicles. That was more of his hobby there. He liked to tinker with those. That's kind of why he decided to make this boat. He has made this boat to actually sonar the bottoms of oceans first. This was not really intended for his use that he had until he actually noticed that this boat was really good for going through choppy waves, and it was really efficiently and fast to get out there. Um, he did advanced ceramic research too. Um, So he was like really good with machining, and he knew like aerodynamics and how to get the more efficiency out of boats. This product is 4 feet long and it only weighs 20 pounds. Lifeguards like it because it kind of is similar to a jet ski. Like, and I guess for lifeguard training, they have to have like knowledge of boats and remote controlled boats. They also had to know how to maintain the jet skis, and they also love the fact that it's just so fast to get out there. They couldn't swim that fast, so this actually saves more lives than the lifeguards could for swimming out there. Um, I think this idea was great. I mean, if you can get out there 5, 10 minutes earlier, I mean, there's better chance of that guy not dying. Um, I think that the jet ski motor was a good alternative to a propeller because it's a little less dangerous. Because if the guy tried to grab behind, his arm might like fall off or something, and that'll just cause more problems. Okay, the way this device works is it has a built-in sonar. So the first step is the lifeguard finds somebody who is like drowning per se. They take this lifeguard boat and they pick it up and they place it in the water. From there, they take the remote control and they drive it out to the person. But this is where Emily kicks in. It has this software where there's a sonar, so it can pick up where a person is trying to keep themselves above water, so it knows where to go. Then later, Emily picks this guy grabs onto it, so he can float longer. This way, the lifeguards have time to swim out there and bring him back to shore. Okay, so now we know how to use this device, but what I want to know is how this works. We will find out in just a moment. Alright, first one is science. Now, what good is this floating safety device if it doesn't float? This comes in to Archimedes' principle about buoyancy. Buoyancy, you have to have enough surface area for the object to float. You have to have the air, too. Emily floats because its surface area is large and it has enough air, so the object is not as dense as the water. Now, one thing that will not float would be a rock. A rock won't float because you can't put any air in a rock because, well, it's a rock. Um, Boats float. I mean, I don't know if you knew that, but boats float because it has a big surface area, a lot bigger surface area than a rock, and the boat has rooms, and the rooms are filled with air, so therefore it is less dense than the water, which is why the boats can float and why rocks will sink. And this is the same principle as this flotation device called Emily. Magellan took a lot of consideration in his invention. He took in consideration flotation and safety. Safety would be the biggest factor because you don't want anyone getting hurt, or else this just defeats the purpose of his invention. He also had to take in consideration of flotation, just because if you can't have it float, well then you're not going to save anyone, and you have to have it be able to float, or else you're not going to be able to hold anyone on it. They also had to figure out how to waterproof it, which that took in a lot of time. He had to find out how to keep all the mechanical stuff inside of it, yet have it be able to go into the water. Now, when you design something, you want it to be very simple. Magellan used all parts that were already invented. He used a jet ski, a sonar, a flotation device, and a battery. These were all common items that were already invented. This way, more people can use them. Everyone actually can use them. And when I mean everyone, I mean everyone. The simpler the product, the more people you're going to buy. Um, per se, if you have a pencil, if you put like a whole bunch of things on a pencil, like for an example, my parents aren't really technology people. They get on a computer and they go on the internet and that's about it. If they have to do anything else before that, just they're not going to go on the computer. And there's a lot of people like that, and that's why I think engineering is a big part. You have to keep it simple, but you got to keep it still like productive. Math in this invention was really important. They needed to know how much thrust the jet ski motor would give out. They needed to know exactly where to place the jet ski motor so that it wouldn't go too far up, too far sideways, and they needed to just find the exact midpoint. Another mathematical situation in this would be the turning ratio. They needed to know how much the jet ski engine needed to turn for the Emily to get around a current turn. Another mathematical situation would be the stopping distance. They needed to know how much they needed for Emily to slow down, to stop in front of the person that's drowning. Because when you're in water, you can't just stop at a dime. So they also needed to know how far away they needed to slow down before they get to the person that's drowning. Gotta stop saying. Super freak, she's